Hey everybody, it's Henry at Mowers and Blowers again. Today I'm working on the Husqvarna Yth21K46 Kohler. This is the Husqvarna that my buddy Pete Lombardi gave me, remember? Anyway, so if you'll recall, he thought that the engine's governor blew and the gears were messed up when the shaft was bent or whatever, you know. And so I went and removed the sump cover and all the accompaniments to find out that I really couldn't find anything wrong with the innards of the engine. But then after looking around and stuff like that, the second bolt over here that holds the carburetor was busted on the inside over there, and it was sticking out. Therefore, the symptoms that Pete saw was that he thought it was the governor, but in reality, I believe, I mean, he could be right, but you know, I'm not sure. But I'm thinking that it had to do with the carburetor just coming loose, and then there was a vacuum leak, a big time one. You know, it was like that. You know, and so it's gonna rev crazy and give you the symptoms that something's up with the governor. But anyway, I sorted that out hopefully, and today my sump cover gasket came, and so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the sump cover off again. And let me tell you, it was a pain in the ass to get it just right, because it has that balancer over here that has to be just right over here, and the governor gear has to be just right to the left side camshaft, you know. So it was a pain to take off and put back on, but now I have to take it back off again, scrape off the old gasket and put the new gasket on, and then put the accompanies back on, you know. So it's going to be quite a lot of work to do, and well, I'm going to give it a go. So here's the sump cover. As you can see, the gasket is actually in okay shape up to there. It's a little bit worn over there, and obviously removing it tore over there. So it definitely has to be replaced. So I have to hopefully scrape that off carefully and make sure there's no dust and stuff around here, and clean that up and wipe it down. I have to remind myself to oil this area here, and also the seal before I put it back on again. Put some Earl in between there to lubricate. And then obviously need to clean this stuff up too. I have to also remind myself to put something there so that the stuff doesn't go back in there, you know. Let me tell you, this thing's been a pain in the balls to get off. Still not finished, you know what I'm saying? That gasket was really on there, you know, and I want to do it slowly so that I don't damage the you know, the seal. You know, I want to scratch the sump, but it's been a pain in the ass, man. Let me tell you, that gasket was really on there well. I probably would have gotten away with just putting some gasket seal over the gasket, and probably would have been perfect and fine, but you know, I want to do things right, you know. Got to get a new gasket on there, OEM, just do it right. And you know, I'm painstakingly going over all this stuff and making sure that nothing falls in that damn thing. But pain in the ass, man, I gotta tell you. You know, that's why I know why mechanics charge so much in labor, because stuff could take hours, man. So it took me like an hour to slowly peel off that old gasket, and at the same time cover the inside sump so that none of the crap goes back inside the Earl, you know. So I'm done now, thank goodness. And what I'm going to do now is spray some carb cleaner onto this towel and just wipe out the sides so it's not greasy, so that gasket can have a good seal. So I cleaned it up nicely. I oiled the seal. Good to go. I'm going to line this up right around there in the middle. Guess I wiggle it around. I'm going to turn this crank just a little bit so that this thing doesn't have that much tension on it, because right now you can move it. I want to be able to move it some more so that governor gear can slide in to this area here. So here's my new Kohler sump gasket. That's the part number, 2014121-S. It was like $10, and I'm going to try to put it on now. Finally got it on nice and snugly, if that's a word. So got the sump bolts in here. It's been soaking in carburetor cleaner for a while, so I'm going to dry those off and get some Loctite. So since this Kohler Courage has a reputation of the sump bolts getting loose due to vibration of the engine and popping right up and hitting the flywheel, I'm going to use some Loctite here, but this one is thread locker from Permatex. It's the same stuff. This is actually the heavy duty stuff. Once you do put this on, you'll probably never get those bolts out, you know what I'm saying? They practically seize the bolts in there so that they won't jar loose, you know. So I'm going to put some Loctite on each of these bolts and just hand tighten them in there, and then we'll do a cross-section torquing of them all down. I'm not going to use the impact wrench because those things tend to break these off, you know, so we'll just use a ratchet and hand tighten them, and then also torque them down. Got the engine bolt, the sump bolts back on there, torque them to, you know, pretty tight, you know, about 80 to 100 pounds per square inch. Something like that, you know. Like Terrell says, it's not the space shuttle. It's just Sump. I'm going to put the stator on now. Allen keys. That's so it just doesn't jar loose. Now starter's in. Now we've got the flywheel, and remember to put in your woodruff key. Routed the wire back down again. This is for the magneto. The other one's for the solenoid cutoff on the carburetor. Now there's the magneto. Put it back on here. I know where the screws are because I put the screws back on. We're not going to tighten these, we're just going to put them on. Before we put that on, I'm going to put the blower on. Just want to try to remember how it went. Woodruff keys in there. If you look at this part there, you can see that there's the keyway notch there. So that looks like it's going to be like that. And this one here, if you look at that, this one has an imprint of a bolt, see? The other side doesn't. It's going to be like that. It's also rustier on this side, so you know that's probably like that. The spacer for the bolt. There's the bolt, and I use an impact to get that tight. Connect that wire onto there. Gonna brush off the magneto too. Rotate the magnet. Insert the business card. The old business card and the flywheel trick. Okay. Flywheel. Left here. Dipstick. Air cleaner. Air cleaner base. Where the carburetor gets tightened. Putting the air cover on, you know, I gotta admit, I don't know if I have the linkage right, you know. A little confused. Let me tighten that now. Okay, that's tightened. Theoretically, I could start this and see if it starts, but I'm a little scared. I'm not gonna put the cover on, air filter. Gotta put the dipstick on, but I'm gonna give it a try. Well, that was anticlimactic. Won't start. Not at all. No sound, nothing. Matter of fact, even the meter doesn't light up. So I don't think it's actually connected to the battery, which is really strange. I'm gonna do some more digging. So I wasn't getting any power for some reason. I was using the multimeter and tracing everything. And so when I got to this area here, I uncovered the sheathing and I found this. It wasn't even connected. Can you believe that? I gotta fix that. Something's wrong with the solenoid because it only started when I blew some carb cleaner in there. And it surges, you know, so I may have to take that carb out again and do some research on the linkage. Not really too sure how this all works, but it surges a little and it only starts when I spray cleaner in there, meaning that fuel is not getting into the carburetor to start, right? But then once it is started, the solenoid opens and allows fuel to get through, you know. I'm thinking that I should just bypass that damn solenoid. A lot of people have problems with it and stuff. But, yeah, alright. So, you know, cool. I mean, it starts and stuff and runs. and it just needs a little bit more tinkering, you know what I'm saying? And get this straightened out a little bit better, and that's it. So it looks like this Husqvarna, it started up and seems to be running pretty well, considering the stuff that I did to it, Anyway, see you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers.